Welcome to City Conversations. With me today is James Rhodes, the Solid Waste Superintendent. James, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
And we're here to talk about all of the great stuff that your folks do for over 60,000 pickups a week across our city, and how they manage that from the solid waste perspective, from the yard waste perspective. I know we do recycling as well, although it doesn't, it's not directly under you. It comes as part of your department as well. So let's just share some quick tidbits, if you would, before we start. How many trucks do you have to accomplish this 60,000 pickups a week?
Well, with the garbage trucks, we have about 44 trucks that we run during the week for that, and we use 10 trucks for bulky items, and the other 10 we use for yard waste.
Okay, and then how many people that man all those vehicles?
We have about 40 people that we send out each day that man those vehicles to do that collection.
And they're here very early in the morning until pretty late in the afternoon to make all that happen.
Yes, sir. We start around 6:30 in the morning, and we run until the mission's complete.
Wow.
We do 4 days, 10-hour days, and our guys are very diligent at working.
Okay.
Yes.
And so that's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
No Wednesday pickup, which we'll talk about later when we go out and see our trucks as well. And then from a tonnage perspective, 60,000 pickups a week. How much do you pick up in tons a week?
Well, on a week, on average, each vehicle does anywhere between 6 to 12 tons a day, and they may go to the landfill twice a day.
Wow.
Some of them do. So we do quite a bit. We do about 48 tons a year on average.
Okay, yeah, that's quite a bit.
Yes, sir.
And so to make all that magic happen, what we've got in the background here is something I know you guys have told me about before we started here, is Fleetmind, which is a great computer software program that helps you track what's going on. Tell me a little bit about what exactly it does to help you better serve our residents.
Okay, so Fleetmind, for one, it allows us to get rid of some paper that we've been using in the past.
Okay.
Also, it allows our drivers to get involved in the technical state of where we are in this time of our century. So they go out, they log in the morning, just like we log in on regular computers, and their route is dispatched to each driver. And once that driver logs in, they log into a particular route, and the computer lets them see what their locations are, where they are to start, and at every stop, they pick up a location. If they should find an issue wrong with their location, they can take pictures. It gives us what time they stop at each stop. And as you see here on the screen here, there are different colored cans.
Right.
The green cans with the blue top is when the driver pulls up to a house, he makes a collection, and the truck itself, the computer, acknowledges that the collection has happened.
Okay.
With the yellow carts, that's when the driver comes to a house where the cart may not be at the curb. He pushes a button that lets us know that the cart's not out. That's a yellow cart. When you have the solid green cart, that's when the driver himself initiated a collection at that particular site. And then we have the red carts. The red carts are the collection, the computer says the collection was not made. It may be an address in the driver's system, but there may not be a house at that location, or there may not be, the house may be vacant, so the driver won't stop there.
Right.
But the computer says that there's a missed collection.
So when we look up here and see a swath of red in some of these spots, again, doesn't necessarily mean it wasn't there. It's just that might not have a trash can out there.
Right. It may not be a cart out at all, or there may not even be a house there.
But when it is an issue, you mentioned, so perhaps there's a car in the way that blocks your truck from coming in, or the can just isn't there, it'll actually record that so that your drivers know, and you, from the supervisory perspective, know that there's an issue there.
Right. We do have the access to where drivers can make notes in the system, and also they can, if there's a blockage or if there's another issue, the driver can push a button, make notes, and let us know that there was an issue at this particular house.
Right.
That way, if a resident does call in later, we can explain what the issue was.
And it really is a tracking mechanism, again, to help you from the driver's perspective make sure that they're doing what they need to do, but it also helps the residents on their side because we're really more effective as we go around all these different routes and doing what we do to collect.
Right. Yes, sir. Even though they have to cover the route twice with our side loaders, it's still more efficient.
And and how long do you keep this data in the system? So if somebody calls and says, I had an issue, or I have a question on my collection, what can you tell me about it? is this kept for a couple days or a week or?
For us here, we have access to the information for 30 days.
Wow, okay.
But if we need to go back farther, we can contact the Fleetmind personnel,
Okay.
and they can give us access to further data.
And tell me again how long you've been using this for, this Fleetmind process?
About 5 years.
5 years.
Been about
okay.
5 years.
And every single truck has this?
Yes, every truck that we have
Okay.
has this, and the drivers are using it.
So before we go out and actually look at the trucks, which we're going to do here very shortly, tell me a couple things you'd like to share with our viewers from your perspective that would help them better serve us so that we can better serve them.
Okay, to help us all out, we ask that residents have the carts at the curb prior to 7 a.m. on their collection day.
Okay.
Check our website on holidays for any schedule changes. Also, if they have any bulky items that need to be placed at the curb, they should call the customer call center at 910-433-1329.
Okay.
And before placing items at the curb.
Okay.
And if they should have any questions, they should call if they have any questions or concerns.
Fantastic. Well, that's very helpful. So now that you've explained Fleetmind to us and exactly what that does to help us better serve our residents, let's go out and take a look at some of the trucks and let's talk through some of what we do from the truck perspective and the cart perspective that might help us teach our residents a little bit more about the solid waste department.
Yes, sir.
And thank
Will
you.
do.
All right, so we've got all these trucks out here. Let's check out first the trash cart placements. I know you were going to talk to me about which way the carts face, how far apart they go, and what that actually means is this trash is going into a truck. So let's talk about what we got here.
Okay, what we want to have the handles of the cart facing towards the house.
Okay.
That way, as you will see in a minute, it'll make it easier when the driver lifts the trash and all the trash falls out into the truck as the lid opens. Also, you want to have these 4 feet apart, which we will show you again what happens if it's not.
Right.
Just to make it more efficient and to not cause damage to carts or to waste a lot of time trying to fix carts or squeeze between carts.
Right, because I think what's important for our drivers too is that you're literally at this stop for, what did you say, 10 seconds?
For this automated trucks, about 8
Right.
to 10 seconds.
So when they pull up, they're moving. They're going the
Yes.
speed limit, of course, but they're coming up. They're dealing with this very quickly, and so when these carts are too close like this, it presents kind of a hazard.
And it
So
causes
let's-
more time.
So let's see how that looks and what it looks like when a driver pulls up and tries to pick up a cart, one while they're too close, and then while they're facing in the right direction, how it goes in.
Okay, great. Okay. Okay, so now we have the driver that's going to pick up a cart that's facing the opposite way that it should be, but the blue cart is spaced 4 feet apart as it's supposed to be. So the reason why we don't want carts facing this way, trash may fall out or the cart may get damaged as it's being lifted, as you will see here in a minute.
So in this particular case, the trash didn't fall out, but it sometimes does. And the point
Yeah.
you made is it's more difficult for the driver to get that cart back in the right position.
Right.
Now we've got a cart that's facing backwards. It might be raining out, couldn't get it settled, fills up with water, and it presents a problem.
Right. And also, if trash is bagged, it makes it easier for all the trash to fall into the hopper versus the paper flying throughout the neighborhood.
Right. So lesson learned, face your cart with the handles towards the house and
Yes.
keep them 4 feet apart.
Yes.
So let's go take a look at a rear loader and see how that works, because you still use some of those across the city, not only for trash sometimes, but also for yard waste.
Yes, sir. Okay.
So here we are with the yard waste container, and a rear loading truck takes a little bit longer to pick up. Tell me about how that works for your crews and what they do differently here than with the one over here with the one-armed bandit.
Okay, for here, for let's say for garbage, for instance, a driver pulls up, him and his collector, and they collect from both sides of the street inside neighborhoods. So they will come up and they will retrieve the carts from the curb and bring them up to the vehicles and put them on the lifts, and the lifts will lift the carts up and dump them, and then they will also take the carts back to the curb. Now, the way this should work is that the driver pushes the carts up and puts them on the lift lifts the cart up, dumps it, then the driver retrieves it and takes it back to the curb.
And so the previous cart, 10 seconds, this is probably a minute and a half. Why do you use these trucks as opposed to the one-armed bandit? Is this when they're broken, or you've got extra pickups going on that day?
We may have extra pickups, or we may have some routes that need some additional help.
Okay.
Or some of our side loaders may be broken down or not working, so then we use rear loaders. But mainly we use these for yard waste, but we do have some that we use for garbage as well.
Okay, and so again, that's why we're having these carts face the right way. We want to make sure the drivers can get to them pretty quickly and then put them back to the curb.
Yes, sir.
Saves time.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any special tips you would share for our yard waste customers using their brown cart that they might need to know about?
Yes, sir. For customers, push the carts, do not pull them. It causes strain on the body when you pull them.
Okay.
Also, make sure if you have bags, make sure the bags are inside the trash container, and make sure all your trash is containerized in a city approved cart or bags, and the bags have to be inside the cart.
Inside the cart.
And for yard waste has to be bagged unless it's bulky, which we'll talk about in a few minutes.
Okay.
So that it can be containerized and the drivers can easily grab it and put it inside the vehicle.
Right. Okay. Super. Well, let's go check out the yard waste section now in terms of picking up those bulky items and those limbs and then those sofas as well.
Yes, sir.
All right, so here we are over with the yard waste that's actually going to be picked up by one of these giant claws. It's a one-person operation, right?
Yes, sir.
So drives the truck and then picks up the stuff and then gets in once it's done and then leaves.
Yes, sir.
So talk to me about what's important with what's going on here and what exactly our residents need to know for their pickup.
Okay, for one, they need to, for yard waste, for bulky yard waste, they don't have to call for that. They can just put that out and we do a weekly collection.
Okay.
Anything that's less than 20 cubic yards is free.
And that's about the size of a...
small pickup, minivan, something like that.
Okay.
And once the driver comes, as you see the driver back here, he'll operate the boom itself.
Okay.
One thing we want residents to know is that it needs to be at least 4 feet from any vehicles, power lines, telephone poles, mailboxes, fences, those kind of things, so it doesn't get damaged.
Okay.
As you see, the height of the vehicle is about 12 feet. So we don't want to be collecting from under trees.
Right.
And also, if it's more than 20 cubic yards, they need to call, because there's a fee attached to that. So they need to call the customer call center to get information on how that's done.
Okay, and what's the call center number again? Is that 433-1329?
Yes, sir, 433-1329.
One Faye, okay.
Yes, sir.
So I think important as well, we can let folks know, so you can find information exactly on all of the yard waste on our website, so FayetteVilleNC.gov. If the residents go there, and on the left side of the website, it says trash collection and recycling. There's one spot they can go. We can also encourage folks to download the City app because we've got trash collection and recycling there as well. And they can also use Fay Fix It. We can download their Fay Fix It app. They can use that to help report pickups there as well.
Yes, sir.
So, all right, well, we're going to go back next door to this other truck and see exactly how a sofa gets picked up as part of our bulky item pickup. But again, same concept as this, where the knuckle boom comes out, picks up the trash, puts it back into the truck.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, let's go check out this sofa pickup. So behind us here, sofas on the side of the curb. I think you said this is free, right? This is a free pickup for our residents.
Yes, sir. We do once a week pickup for 5 items or less for bulky. Anything over that, there's a collection fee for that.
Okay.
But our driver will show you here what that process is. And once he's done, then we'll explain some other things about the collection process.
Okay, and then just to clarify too, so clearly this is furniture here. Does this include white goods like a dishwasher or a refrigerator?
Yes, sir.
Is that included in that as well?
Yes, sir. Includes white goods as well.
So that'll be picked up as well. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Super. So let's see how this truck works and check out how this thing goes into the dumpster.
Okay.
right, fantastic. It was great to see how that was able to pick up not only the couch itself, but the little residue that was left at the
Yes, sir.
bottom with those giant claws. And so really good attention to detail, and great that this service is offered to our residents for free at least once a week.
Yes, sir.
What are those other tidbits you were sharing with me before that you'd like to tell our residents?
Okay, we don't want to have anything within 4 feet of a car or a light pole, or as you saw, it went well over 14 feet. So don't want to have it under trees and that kind of thing. Just makes it easier for us to collect.
Sure.
And because of the legs have to be on a sturdy surface, we can't go off-road or on the private property.
Okay. Well, good. Yeah, I think that visual was very helpful to demonstrate exactly why to our residents you can't have anything around, above, or to the
Right.
sides of the area that's being picked up. But wow, well, what a lot of services you all offer, and so great to see what 60,000 pickups a week look like. Understand that they do this with 40 some odd trucks, or
Yes.
40 men rather, and
Right.
how many trucks again?
We have about 40 trucks that we
It
send
is
out.
40 trucks, okay. And so a lot of great services you offer. And again, encouraging our residents to put their their carts out in a timely manner. So
Yes,
by
sir.
7 every day,
Yes, sir.
when their pickups are
On
happening.
their pickup day.
And really, again, thank you for all the things you do and all your folks do to help keep our city clean.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Fantastic. So welcome again, and thank you for joining us today with City Conversations. We hope you got something out of this, and we hope you learn what you can do to help us serve you better.